came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Back to reality, ain't no one bad as me. See, they be doubting, but I keep on actually pushing, not giving up. That's how I give it up. Pushing, not giving up. That's how I give it up.
Welcome to our final pitch episode in the SME category of the 2022 BCX Digital Innovation Awards show. Now, today's contestants will have to go all out to prove that they have the innovation that will top it all. In our previous episode, we saw Acumen Software pitch their My Smart City. In this episode, we will meet the team from Control Technologies, pitching their innovation, creating digital insurance advisors. But before we jump into the action, here's a quick reminder of who our judges are.
Hello, my name's Toby Shapshak. I've been a technology journalist for the last 20 years or so. I am the editor-in-chief of Stuff, and I did a TED Talk in Edinburgh about how innovation is better in Africa.
Hello, my name is Shaheen Vauda. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here at BCX. I'm super excited to be part of this year's Digital Innovation Awards. I've been part of this now for the last 4 years, and I'm really interested to see how the entrants have grown over this period of time.
A very warm hello. My name is Rapelang Rabana, and I'm a technology entrepreneur and very excited to be back at BCX for the Digital Innovation Awards for 2022.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win.
Well, judges, it's good to see you once again. I just wonder, from a presentation point of view, Toby, you're in studio on a regular basis. What advice do you have to the people who are pitching here? How easy or challenging is it to get your message to land first time?
Well, firstly, ignore the judges.
Right.
Because,
good
no,
advice.
but I mean, I'm saying it only half facetiously.
Yes.
People are so anxious to see what someone's reaction is going to be. It can put you off your game. You know, Rapeleng could have sighed because, you know, she could see I'm not wearing socks, and they will think it's a comment on her, on their brand. You know, who knows? So firstly, don't look for reactions, and secondly, just trust yourself. You know, you've probably perfected it, rehearsed it, just go for it.
Rapeleng, is he wearing socks? You don't have to answer
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
But I am just wondering, I mean, from yourself, what do you expect from these guys today? You've seen SMEs in the previous two pitches. What's going to set these guys apart?
You know what's thrilling in my mind? You know, insurance has always been one of those grudge purchases, right? And I'm hoping that I might personally actually get excited about insurance, which is not something that happens very often. So I'm quite keen to see what spin they've put on it. You know, we're underinsured as a continent, and there's something we're not getting right. So there's lots of room to fix things.
Anything to add?
Yeah, no, the SME category always excites me. And the reason for that is generally these guys innovate because it's a life and death scenario, life and death situation. They have to innovate, otherwise they go out of business. Looking at the previous two contestants, they were really inspiring, and I'm looking forward to seeing Control Technologies and seeing what they can do and what they can offer us.
Well, let's waste absolutely no more time. Control Technologies, it's your turn to pitch. Come on up, guys. Hello there. So I believe it's Peter and Peter.
That's right.
Brilliant. And how are you feeling about your pitch today?
Super excited. Can't wait.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so Control Technologies judges, they're going to pitch their innovation, creating digital insurance advisors. But before we find out exactly what the pitch says, let's find out exactly who they are, a bit more about the guys themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pieter Erasmus. With me I have Pieter Venter as well as Francois Venter. And between the three of us, we are the three founders here at Control.
Well, Control Technologies was founded in 2017. We basically connect end users, brokers, and insurers into one digital ecosystem. And once they're in this ecosystem, there's a number of pain points that we solve for all three parties alike.
the fact that we are the first digital insurance advice platform in the country, I mean, speaks for itself. So that is innovation in itself. And what we've done is as Peter mentioned, we've created a platform where we connect the broker, the insurer, and the end client into one platform. And what we've also done is created an actuarial algorithm that actually provides recommendations to the client. So helps the client to actually choose, but also we don't cut out the middleman. So we also keep the broker involved and tell the broker exactly what's happened and how we can assist the client.
We look forward to the pitch because that's the part we prepared. But you can only prepare so much for the questions afterwards from the judges. So, you don't know what's going to come at you. But I mean, we know this business so well. We're so excited about the business. We're excited to answer the questions. Hopefully, we can express ourselves well. There's one or two things in the presentation that we hope it works out technically correct. If it does, it'll be great. If it doesn't, we'll have to roll with the punches. But yeah, we're really excited to be on stage and meet the judges.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win.
All right, so now we know a little bit more about you. You have between 10 and 15 minutes to give us your best pitch. At 15 minutes or just before, I'll give you a little bit of a reminder in terms of the time and the clock running out. Good luck, guys. Take it away.
Thank you, Pavi, and thank you very much for the warm welcome and introduction. Judges, Shahim, Rapalang, Toby, we are indeed, it is a big opportunity for us to be able to present our presentation to you today. We've been watching the BCX Digital Innovation Awards over the last couple of years, and it's really a privilege for us to now be able to put our name next to such a prestigious awards program. But let's start off by telling you more about ourselves and how we create digital insurance advisors. A first in South Africa. But everything starts with a story, and ours is of course no different. Myself, I'm Pieter Erasmus, and I have next to me Pieter Venter. And yes, we are two Pieters, so we make it quite easy for you to follow us here today. And then Francois Venter will be joining us later in the Q&A session. And no, Pieter and Francois are not brothers. We are all merely friends that's got a vision to make insurance easy and accessible to all. We all have long careers in financial services, and specifically in the insurance industry. And our skills and our networks and experience are backed by qualifications that ranges from mechanical engineer, CFA, actuarial, marketing, and even 2 MBAs. But we are most proud of our team of 16 people that are part of our business.
Sorry, it's my phone. Can I take it quickly?
In your pitch. Sure, go ahead.
Hello?
About 30 to 45 minutes, right?
No, thank you. Sorry about that. I'm putting it on mute now.
Please, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree with me. We all have had that, where insurance call centers phones us in this very inconvenient time. But if we move over to the consumer and we consider that experience, getting more than one quote is actually quite difficult. And yes, you can phone a call center, or you can even use some insurance companies' digital platform. But guess what? You'll only get one quote. And each time you need to repeat all your personal and underwriting information over and over again. And yes, you possibly can use some of these, as they call it, aggregating tools where you can get multiple quotes. But in those circumstances, you don't get real quotes. You get indicative rates where somewhere you still need to be transferred back into a call center. And of course, you can talk to your broker, your trusted broker. But even with your broker, it will take multiple calls and multiple appointments that will take time in order for you to get your multiple quotes. And just imagine, now I've received all these quotes. How do I compare these quotes? And how do I make sure that I can view these quotes? And how do I know that these quotes actually suits my personal financial needs? So it's really impossible to compare. So the consumer actually have no digital solution where they can get multiple real quotes as well as get good advice in one platform. Surely there must be a better way.
Introducing Control, your new intelligent insurance assistant. Control is here to help you never be confused by insurance again. Compare quotes. Chat to an experienced advisor. Get immediate cover from your car and home. Understand and manage your policy. Get emergency assistance and claim all in one app. Isn't it time to take control of your insurance? Download now.
Again, I'm sure that you will agree with me, but this is a much better and a much more convenient user experience, where the end users got the ability to get multiple quotes by entering their information only once into the platform. Once they receive these quotes, they can actually compare these quotes in a like-for-like style, and we've built an actuarial algorithm that then recommends the best cover to the customer based on their financial needs. These quotes can then be accepted there and then in the app. And again, if I may, and I compare it against aggregating and some other models out there, you then at that point are branched out to a call center. Whereas in this platform, you accept there and then by entering your debit order details and you activate the policy. So once you accept this policy and you become a customer, the end user's got many features like initiating a claim, like getting road and homeside assistance, or even getting the your latest policy wording and schedule all in one platform. And best of all is the fact that you can chat to a qualified broker all in the chat capability that sits on the platform.
But Peter, what if the client experience is just the tip of the iceberg? And what if we could extend these benefits to the broker and the insurers? Through the Control Technology Software as a Service solution, we connect the end user, the broker and the insurer in a digital ecosystem, a first in the South African home and car insurance market. So apart from the improved client experience, brokers and insurers can now cut costs, create 24-hour availability, expand into other areas where they're not physically present, and manage risk and compliance all at the same time. Peter, will you tell them how we do it?
Of course I will, Pete. So, in an independent broker, the broker performs a range of tasks. And through the Control Technology system, we rearrange these tasks so that the vitally important tasks remains with the broker, like chatting to your client, chatting to the underwriters, educating your client, building relationships, and making sure that you give good advice to your customer. So we create a very efficient platform that now allows the end user, this broker's end user, to facilitate a lot of these tasks themselves, like entering their own underwriting information and personal information, like indicating on the platform what is important to you, what is your financial needs. It allows the end user to they themselves capture their own debit order details and accept the policy. So at the end of the day, we really create a lot of efficiencies for the end user, and we create a lot of efficiencies within the broker's practice. So with what we've created here, we also, in addition, have created tools to these brokers to make sure that the broker can service these clients quite effectively. But let me show you how. Our software as a service also, as I've said, extended into providing the broker with a broker tool as well as a digital interaction platform, or let's call it a chat capability if you like, where the brokers got all the contextual information that they need to chat to their customer in every conversation. Even all record keeping, like giving advice, is all taken care of in this platform, ensuring that all compliance requirements are ticked for the financial services provider. So these tools, as you can hear, are really helping the broker to perform these tasks as we've mentioned before. But let's perhaps move towards the front end and show you a little bit more.
We've got 5 minutes, gents.
We give our business-to-business partners their very own white-labeled app, an app that sits in the app stores as well as the a web version, and we allow the broker to have their own version, their own branding within the app, actually allowing them to deepen their partnership with their customers through their branding. We follow a very structured implementation process, making sure that we are close to our business-to-business partners. After we've launched the app to the customer, we bring in our customer success team that will then help to train and support the customer, our customer, to ensure that they become a successful digital insurance advisor. And this we can do in a matter of weeks.
Okay, but let's see if we can take it even one step further. So now that we've got this digital ecosystem, we can also expose our set of APIs to third-party systems and connect them into our ecosystem, thereby creating unique opportunities to distribute insurance. And we all know, with insurance, distribution is key, because no one buys insurance just because they want insurance. It's a problem of ownership. And ownership can be viewed in a number of verticals, which includes vehicle, property, and standalone items. But let's focus on the vehicles vertical for a moment. And let's take motor dealerships as a use case. In South Africa, more than 35,000 new cars are sold every month. And for every car that's sold, new and used, which is financed, comprehensive insurance is required before that car can be driven off the showroom floor. Now, the finance quoting and approval process is well integrated into these systems and exists in digital form, but no digital solution for insurance exists. Now, a motor dealership can use our software and become an independent broker, offering multiple quotes on each vehicle sold and earn recurring income on every life policy. Let me show you how we do this. Through our integration with Sereti, one of South Africa's largest F&I systems, the finance and insurance agent can send lead information to our platform at the push of a button. We will then generate an email and a WhatsApp to the client. The client clicks on a link, registers on a web app through a very simple OTP process, then completes the remaining underwriting questions that we didn't get from the system, and we send that to the insurers. The insurers return up to 8 real quotes which can be accepted right there. And remember, the client can have immediate cover if he wants his car. We then generate a record of advice that's sent to the client, plus we generate a confirmation of cover and put that right back into the F&I system. And throughout this process, the broker has got full sight of each and every client interaction through his broker portal. Now, we've launched this solution earlier this year, and it's taking the motor dealership market by storm. In fact, as we speak, we're busy with new integrations.
Thanks, Peter. And as you can see, I mean, this is one vertical, it's a vehicle use case. Just imagine what we can do in the other verticals. So I'm sure that you'll agree that this opens a world of possibilities. So please allow me to move into our brag slide before we conclude. In the past 5 years, Control caught the eye of investor companies Santam and Naspers that invested a minority stake in our business in 2018 and 2021 respectively. We've also received many validations, or call it accolades, in the form of awards in competitions that we've entered. One local competition being the MTN Business App of the Year Award, where we were chosen as the best financial solution category. One international competition that we've won is the South Summit competition, where we were crowned the Africa winner. We are good at building partnerships, and we are proud of the insurers and business-to-business partners that have been with us from the outset. We in fact believe that they also deserve some form of recognition for their foresight of embracing technology and making us part of their business's future success. So ladies and gentlemen, I trust that you share in our vision, where Control Technologies' ecosystem is well placed to fill a major gap in the South African car and household insurance advice market. We enable the financial advisor, and even those companies with large client bases that wants to sell short-term insurance can now become a digital insurance advisor. And ultimately, we empower the consumer so that they have access to great insurance and proper advice. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, Peter and Peter, 10 out of 10, I'm sure you judges will agree on performance, on the theatre, the drama of the situation. So I'm going to hand it over for all the technical bits. Shane, go ahead.
Peter and Peter from Control, very, very well done. You had us going there a bit with that call in midstream, right? I thought something is going wrong here.
It was a real call.
Haven't you had those calls?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it works so well.
Like everybody knows that.
Everybody knows it.
How did you know to phone at the most irritating moment? How did you know?
Absolutely. But very, very well done. Very well put together, and congratulations on a good presentation. I'm going to pop over now to Rapilang, and let's start with you today.
Yeah, I'd love to get a bit more insight on sort of the back end. So I understand you do all these comparisons. Does that mean you've integrated with all the insurers? How do you sort of pull it up? And do you continue to manage the customer relationship for that insurer going forward?
Yeah, so where it's a B2B client, it's their client, so we don't. I mean, the client success team, so to answer the second part of your question, the client success team will monitor, and we do a lot of training. We learned in our own brokerage, and all those lessons goes back into the platform. And so they'll sit with their clients and say, well, if this happens, try and do this, and this is how you normally handle the client. So that's on the one side. Yeah, so the big problem here is you want to take a set of underwriting questions and then another set, another set, and it ends up being that long list, and then you want to pass them on to the insurers. Now, the big challenge for us is to make that list as short as possible, and therefore you need an actuary to make sure that the questions that you ask is mapped correctly right through to all the different insurers. Yeah. So we've integrated with a platform called Brolink. They administer a number of our insurers, so that's where some of the quotes come from. And then some of the insurers we integrated directly. So it's a mix.
But maybe just, if I may, just in terms of your first question, so what's quite important here is that we always bring the broker into the equation. Because remember, we connect the broker, the end user, and the insurer. So a broker will have the platform, whether it's one of our partners like Momentum Consult, Inware Tracker, they've got our platform. They are the broker. They are the digital broker. So they sell their platform, they advertise, they make it available, customers comes on board. The relationship between end user is between them as the broker and the end user. We merely facilitate this ecosystem where we connect broker, insurer, and the end user. And we give them this entire platform ecosystem.
Okay, then maybe one clarification question then. I get the vehicle dealership component, but if you have partnered with a Momentum or etc., will they show competing products?
Yeah, so I think what is important we split it into two categories almost. We see traditional brokers out there that have always had the face-to-face kind of advisor going to customers, sitting with them, giving them the necessary advice and obviously quotations. But we're seeing that moving obviously into that it's transforming. Technology needs to play its role. There's an easier way where customer wants a convenient platform. So we help them to transform into digital so that they can decide from call it an omni-channel perspective. Do I give my customer an app? Whether he wants to use it, it's almost like banking. Whether they want to use the app, whether they want to come to me, whether they want to meet with me face to face, I've given them an additional tool to engage with me on their terms. But the other group that we are seeing is, and I've alluded to it in the presentation, is companies that says, I've got a massive client base, and I'm now seeing an opportunity to sell products that are related to what I'm already selling. So I can earn statutory additional commission as a broker. But in the past, it was quite difficult for me to become a broker because either I start a call center, which is costly, or it's a bricks and mortar kind of brokerage. Now I can start a digital solution with a couple of advisors that are digitally engaging on the back end with a customer on their terms.
And even the compliance is taken care of. So we create these gates where we know a client has to go through these gates, that your compliance is taken care of. So there's less risk as well.
So we ultimately believe, in a young upcoming middle market that needs advice, that needs insurance. We all know that the insurance market is indefinitely, there's desperate need to get customers or people, consumers out there to take out insurance. And this is a practical, call it platform, that really says it's the best of both worlds. I can do this on my own terms, but hey, I've got a broker that I can click a button on, and no call center is phoning me. I at least chatting to my broker on my terms.
Over to you, Toby.
Yeah, really slick presentation, guys. I feel like that conversation, cringeworthy as it was, is the same one we've probably all had. I've certainly had enough of them. But I think if your software does what you're saying, that's quite remarkable. It's been a few years since I've done a an insurance quote, but I always struggle to get someone to compare apples to apples or oranges or, you know, bananas. And it's kind of what the cellular industry does, which is specify things in such a way that you can't compare like for like. So that's really impressive. I can see the value in providing as a software as a service for the brokers. And of course the transparency of it is really good. So, you know, slick presentation and well done for both being called Peter.
I was wondering, with the brokers, are you able to sort of bring in new brokers that were, you know, perhaps not keen on the traditional way of financial advice?
Yeah. It's actually, if I may, Peter, it's actually a great opportunity for brokerages, for large corporates specifically. Because it's quite difficult to bring in new brokers, to bring in new blood, because in essence they typically needs to come in with a book, because how do they sustain their income? Now with this scalable solution, and because of a younger generation that you actually wants to get in that embraces technology, this is a perfect solution. So it really enables those brokerages to say, I can now almost lure young generation of advisors into my business through this technology.
Yeah, and I mean the comparison's the real thing, right? That recommendation algorithm. No human can take two policies and tell you this one is that much better than the other. It's, you know, and there's slight tricks that they use. They just play with the excess, and suddenly the premium drop. And because it's so complicated, everyone just, the lowest common denominator is premium. And you can beat any price by just moving some of the risks out. So for new agents coming in, you've taken care of that piece. They can focus on the selling and really listening to what the client needs. So yeah, it's definitely a tool.
And gaining experience in time, you know, because obviously we all need to gain experience in the process.
Well, listen, good presentation all round and very slick logo. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
How many policies or have you sold, just in terms of the reach that you've been able to achieve?
So numbers are not public, but I can tell you, I mean, the brokerage itself, we don't spend any marketing on it, well, a little bit, but it's not like some of the other insurtechs that's on billboards and that kind of thing. So it's really just there for us as a sandpit to learn. But even that is growing by 15% month on month. We must be one of the fastest growing brokerages in the country there. But the heart of the business is really technology. So we control investment holdings, then control technologies, and then control financial intermediaries. So they were basically the first client of technologies. On the broker side, I mean, you've seen the logos that are on there. The B2B side's got a longer cycle because there's more that you need to do. It's not just plugging in a digital product. You need to actually work with these companies and say, okay, there's a bit of a transformation here. How does this fit into your business processes? You know, maybe changing from a multi-channel to an omni-channel, that takes work, but that's getting really nice traction. So that's where the volume sits actually.
And sorry, if I just, last point just to add to that, is that we are seeing them using it as a new business tool, but they're also seeing it as a tool where they can actually move a block of business and actually tell their customers, we've created an efficient tool for you from here on to engage with us. An additional tool through which you can engage, as I say, with us as a broker.
Well, there you go. Allegations that insurance can be an efficient tool. Thank you very much for that, gentlemen, and good luck.
Cool.
Thank you, Toby.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win.
No, it was absolutely great. We really enjoyed it. There was a lot of energy in the room. As Peter indicated before we started, that there was a couple of tricks up our sleeve to obviously get the message across quite successfully, and I think it worked well.
Yeah, sometimes it's a fine balance. You know, the insurance industry is a esoteric industry with terms that people don't know. So the biggest challenge is to use the right terms and use simple language that people can understand, and those automations that we've created, that's really powerful. So sometimes you have to be in the industry to really appreciate it, but I think the judges are clever enough that they could have put themselves into the shoes of a broker and understand the solution.
So I was fortunate to watch it behind the scenes, and I think the gents did a really good job, and yeah, I think it really went well.
And with that, we wrap up the SME category. Join us again next time as we kick off our corporate category with ShopRite X.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Back to reality, ain't no one bad as me. See, they be doubting, but I keep on actually pushing, not giving up. That's how I give it up. Pushing, not giving up. That's how I give it